Good evening. You're watching the main news on HKIBC. I'm Isabel Wong.
And I'm Raymond Yeung. Here are tonight's top stories. Coroner's court rules death of a suspect while in the police station is a suicide.
Exchange funds income sees a huge drop in the third quarter.
And Tongcheng residents complain over influx of mainland visitors who travel there via the new mega bridge. The coroner's court has ruled the death of a suspect in the police station as suicide after the detainee was found hung in a detention cell.
But the coroner said he would pass the case on to the Department of Justice due to inconsistencies. Yeung reports.
Yeung was arrested in May last year after he allegedly raped and robbed a woman near Exit B of Kowloon Bay MTR station. The morning after his arrest, the 48-year-old was dead. He was found hanged by a computer cable in a police station detention room. Today, a 5-member jury unanimously ruled his death as a suicide. But coroner Ko Wai-hong said he would submit the hearing transcripts to the Department of Justice for a criminal investigation due to discrepancies. The inquest had revealed that officers at Sao Mau Ping police station had missed some of their patrols. It also found security cameras had caught officers not checking on detainees, but recorded in a logbook that they had. A similar incident happened at North Point Police Station in 2016 when a 44-year-old detainee hanged himself in a detention room. Ko said the two incidents showed loopholes in the system which were unacceptable. In addition to the verdict, the jurors put forward 11 recommendations on how the force could prevent suicides of arrestees in the future. They said the police should install surveillance cameras in police cells to monitor detainees, but on the condition they would not capture the toilets inside. A warning that details the penalty of forging documents should be placed in police logbooks. And the force should also improve their computerized patrolling system by replacing card readers with biometric identification. HKIBC.
In response to public criticism over the hanging, the police set up a committee last year to review its custodial management.
A number of measures have since been taken and will be gradually rolled out by the end of next year. There was massive embarrassment for police in 2016 when a suspected rapist took his own life while in detention. He was found to have hung himself with the computer network cable. In response, the force has set up a custodial management committee last year to review its procedures, facilities, as well as training and frontline communication. Currently, there are 33 detention facilities inside police stations across Hong Kong, with the oldest one dating back to 1880 and in need of upgrades. Following the committee's recommendations, mesh fences have now been installed to prevent detainees from extending their limbs outside of their cells. Windows in cells with air conditioning may even be swapped with fiberglass, while sharp edges have been removed from all furniture and walls to prevent self-harm. Officers keep records of their patrols through a notebook, but the method has been found to be prone to abuse. An electronic system was introduced in September, including a countdown timer on each section of the detention facilities when patrol was required. The system will alert officers if the countdown goes under the 1-minute mark, followed by an even louder alert when time is up. Officers will also need to swipe their warrant passes whenever they pass through patrol points, and the records will be kept for at least 1 year. The initial trial phase covers 3 police stations, with a territory-wide rollout scheduled by the end of next year. Superintendent Kitty Chick from the police's support branch said training has also begun for officers on custodial duty. Raymond Yeung, HKIBC. The exchange fund's income saw a huge year-on-year drop in the third quarter.
The investment returns in the first 3 quarters of the year fell to a 2-year low. The uncertainty over the global economy has taken a toll on the government's exchange fund as its investment returns in the first 3 quarters of the year fell to a 2-year low. The fund made a total of $36.7 billion in investment income in the first 9 months of this year, down 81% from the previous year. In the third quarter, the investment income of the fund was $1.6 billion, a 97% plunge year-on-year. Income for 3 months ending in September was dragged down by losses in investments in local equities and foreign exchange. Hong Kong Monetary Authority Chief Executive Norman Chan said how equities investment would fare over the rest of the year would depend on the outcome of the G20 summit. President Xi Jinping was expected to meet his US counterpart Donald Trump to discuss trade at the meeting in Buenos Aires.
I think in terms of the trade war or trade conflict on trade, the trade numbers so far haven't shown the impact yet, but I expect it will take about a quarter or two for this to come through. But at the same time, the sentiment in the financial markets in this part of the world has been affected. The Hong Kong stock market as well as the mainland stock market have come down quite a lot. But the impact would really depend on how the situation unfolds in the next month or two, because according to the US administration, further measures or tariff will be imposed towards the end of the year.
Chan also said it was still too early to tell whether the local real estate market had entered a downward cycle. He added that if the trade war between China and the US dragged on, home prices may be significantly affected.
Tung Chung residents have complained about the influx of mainland travelers visiting their town since the opening of the Hong Kong, Zhuhai, Macau